What's up, guys? Your boy JT coming at you with my second video, and obviously this video is about Danny Garcia, Lucas Matthysse. Let's get right to it. I want to first say shout out Golden Boy for making the fight. Very, very impressive what they've been doing lately. Seems like they're just running away with the promotional monopoly in boxing right now. It seems like they're just taking over. But there's some great fights coming up from different promoters. You got Golovkin, Stevens, which is a great fight. You got Marquez, Bradley. This week we got Abner Mares, Johnny Gonzalez, which is another good fight, but that's from Golden Boy. You know, just last week they had HBO had a nice triple header with Gill and Barker and stuff like that. But seems like Golden Boy's running away with it. But anyway, let's talk about the fight. I've been watching a lot of tape on both these fighters. I know a lot of people say that it's a 50-50 fight. This is a tough fight. To me, it's not that tough. I've been watching a lot of tape on both fighters. I've done my homework, and let's just go on what's real here. I feel like if you being real with what is really seen or what we really see, and what if you really know boxing, these fights are not hard to break down. These predictions are not hard. A lot of people on YouTube, they say all this crazy stuff, but if you really know boxing like I do, I've been watching boxing my whole life. I'm not that old, but I'm 24 years old, but I've been watching boxing my whole life. I grew up watching it, so I know boxing. But anyway, let's just talk a little bit more about both fighters. You got Lucas Matthysse, 34-2, 32 knockouts, which is impressive. I remember the first time I saw Lucas fight, it was on the Mayweather De La Hoya undercard. That was the first time I saw him. He knocked a bum out in the first round. I was like, wow, this guy is pretty good, man. And then, he went on. I saw him fight Corley, Judah, Alexander, Vivian Harris. He has some fairly decent victories on his resume. And then you got Danny Garcia. He's 26-0, 16 KOs. And I remember the first time I saw him. I didn't think much of him. I saw him fight. Who was that guy? Nate Campbell, and I was, I was like, wow. I wasn't impressed. Until I saw him destroy Eric Morales. The second fight. But anyway, these are very, very tough fighters. Two at the top of the weight classes. You normally don't get that. You got Danny Garcia. He's the lineal champion, unified junior welterweight champion. Very, very impressive resume. He's beaten guys like Judah. He's beaten guys like I said, Nate Campbell. He beat Ashley Theophane, who's on the money team now. Kendall Holt, Eric Morales, Amir Khan. Very, very impressive. I look at this fight like this. Let's just get right into it. Let's cut all the BS. Let's get right to it. I look at this fight like this. You got two types of power punchers. You got guys who are naturally gifted power punchers, who have naturally heavy hands. Then you got guys who just kind of swing for the fences, leaving themselves off balance, after they throw these shots and, things like that. When you look at a guy like, let's say, Gennady Golovkin, when you watch a fight of Gennady Golovkin, how many times you see him swinging, leaving himself off balance, leaving himself wide open for huge shots. He's not, because he's naturally heavy-handed. The punches naturally have the oomph behind it, have the steam. He's hurting guys, he's cutting guys. You know, it's natural. He's not off balance. It looks effortless. Even Canelo Alvarez, he has heavy hands naturally. You can hear the oomph on the punches. I know he sometimes swings and leaves himself off balance. He sometimes misses by wide margin, but for the most part, he's a naturally God-gifted heavy-handed fighter. But when you look at a guy like Lucas Matthysse, you look at his last fight, which I'm gonna be honest, I wasn't that impressed. I mean, hey, we all like knockouts, but if you're being real and you look at boxing the way I look at boxing, look at fights, you know, he was swinging and he was missing by a wide margin. He was leaving himself wide open. And you got a guy that, when you go up against guys that are smart, that are thinkers in there, like Danny Garcia, he's shown that he's had the ability to make adjustments in fights, to counterpunch, to make adjustments. I don't know how that's gonna bode for him. I mean, I see Garcia taking some advantages in this fight of Matthysse. He was missing against Peterson by wide. I know he knocked him out, but he was missing by a wide margin, leaving himself wide open. He has a tendency to swing and be off balance, which can lead to a knockdown. You know, uh, you know, that's basically how I see it going. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm not trying to discredit all the things that Lucas Matthysse has done. I think he's a great fighter, but I just feel like Danny Garcia is the better boxer. You know, he's been in there with better competition. He's won. He's very, very confident right now. He has not lost. He's very, very confident. And, you're going to have to break his will. You're going to have to break a lot of things. You're going to have to chop that tree down, because his confidence is so high right now. He's not going to be scared. He's going to come in there and do what he got to do. And yeah, that's just how I see it going. You know. Don't get me wrong, Matthysse definitely has a puncher's chance in this fight. Definitely. But Garcia has shown that he has a chin. And I just see him winning a close fight. Probably a split decision. But I have confidence that Danny's gonna get through it. Because he's shown, he's been in tough fights. He's been in close fights with tough competition champions. So I just don't feel like Matthysse has been on this level before. He's never been in these bigger fights. He doesn't really have the big fight experience that Garcia has. And I just feel like Garcia is going to use that experience and he's going to find a way to win the fight. And I hope that people start to respect this guy and give, he's truly a great fighter. He should be up there. He beats Matthysse. He should be on the pound for pound list, in my opinion, because of who he's defeated. He has, solid people on his resume. But don't get me wrong. I'm not saying Matthysse doesn't have any chance. Now, things that Garcia do worries me. So, he's shown that he doesn't have the best head movement. And, that could be a recipe for disaster for a guy like Matthysse, who has devastating punching power, But, I feel like when you on a certain level, when you at the top, what's coming. We all know what Matthysse is going to go in there and try to do. So I don't think Garcia is going to sit there and try to trade and get his head knocked off. I just don't see that happening. People think he's just going to go in there and get knocked out. No way. I mean, dude, this is a unified world champion. He knows, he knows what's coming. It's just like in the Canelo and Floyd fight. People think Floyd, oh, he's gonna get caught. He's gonna get caught. Dude, when you're at the top, you're gonna take the best thing that the opponent does. You're gonna take that away. And we know what Matthysse's best thing, his best shot to do, and that's get the knockout. Just like Canelo, get the knockout. So I don't think either of those fights are gonna end in a knockout. If it does end in a knockout, it's gonna end in a knockout in Garcia's favor. Like I said. But there might be some knockdowns. But like I said, my prediction on this fight is a close fight coming to a split decision. Probably a split decision win for Danny Garcia. You know, tell me what you guys think. That's just how I see it. Tell me what you guys think. You know, I'm out, y'all. Thanks for listening.